You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We better get this thing kicked off. What's up, Pops? What up, Lady Z? Yeah, I had a little, you know how I go with the technology. Let's go. Yeah. What up, good people? Welcome to another episode of the Strategically Reckless Podcast. I am your host, Jay Brown, aka Mr. 710. And we are back up in this thing once again. Listen, last week I did a blast from the past. I looked back at some of the shows that we had from back in the day and some of the greatest moments that we had. And I didn't get all of them, but for the ones that we did get to show, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm actually looking forward to this week because I got a lot of stuff that I had meant to talk about a while back and didn't get a chance to do so. And for whatever reason, just had some other stuff I wanted to get to. But this week I'm getting to it. I am getting to it. I am getting after it. But before I do that, introduce the show like we do always, and I want to thank everybody for listening, whether you're listening on Facebook or Instagram Live, YouTube Live, if you're listening on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, however it is that you're listening, go ahead and subscribe, rate us 5 stars, tell me what you think. And if you ever forget, tell Alexa to play the Strategically Reckless Podcast. And she'll do it. You'll be hearing me. You got it. Your favorite podcast. You'll be hearing me, your favorite foster parent. That's who you'll hear. Speaking of, listen. Before I get into this, since last week, so on a week-to-week basis, what I feel like happens within my parenting experiences is we spend a lot of time feeling like we failing. We feel like I feel like I'm failing. I don't know. Part of it is when you get a kid, not from the beginning. Like you getting a kid that already got some factory settings put in it that you didn't have nothing to do with, and so you trying to figure out what some of those things are, and then you trying to also, it's almost like when you go rent a car, that car is new to you, but you expect everything to work correctly. The unfortunate part about renting a car is that you have no idea who drove the car before you and what they did to it when they had it. All you hope is that it gets you from point A to point B. Now, the only part that pertains to the kids is when we talk about, we don't necessarily know what all they did before they got to us. Like what happened before they got to us? What shaped how they view the world? Because these things matter. And so when I feel like when I'm talking and I'm having these conversations with the kid and we're trying to instill lessons. And we just hope that we're gonna keep talking, and at some point you hope that some of it sticks. And it's almost in a way that if you watch a movie the first time, you're probably not gonna remember most of the words, even if it's a really, really good movie. You're probably not gonna remember most of the words. But if you watch the movie over and over again, you might pick up a scene and you remember when you see it again. And then it'd be a little bit more of the movie and a little bit more of the movie. The more you watch it, the more you pick up. And that's what we kind of hope that we get when we talk to the kids. Is that over time, we hope that some of this stuff just sticks. We need it to stick. The unfortunate part is that it doesn't always stick, and we don't have much control over how much of it sticks. We just gotta keep playing this movie over and over again. And so where I feel like I fail at times comes from the standpoint of, yeah, we talk and we talk and we explain and we explain. And there are times when I feel like maybe I'm just not using the correct words. Maybe I'm not phrasing this correct so that it's sticking. And so we get to a point where it's like, all right, let me ask you, what's gonna work for you? Help me figure this out. Help me figure out what'll work for you. What will get you to do the things that we ask you to do? As soon as we figure that out, that, we're gonna be good. And one of the suggestions that we received was, you know what, Mr. Jason? I would do a whole lot better if you guys pretended like nothing ever happened. Yeah, that. You want us to 55 hot, what up? You want us to pretend like nothing happened? Like you didn't do what you did? Come on, man. I'm not built like this. I'm not built like that. Like we can't pretend like nothing happened. That doesn't work. That doesn't make sense to me. To pretend like nothing happened, because if I pretend like nothing happened, what would stop you from doing something again? I ain't think about that. No, just take a moment and think. If nothing happened when you did something you weren't supposed to do, and we pretended like it didn't happen, what would stop you from doing it again? The answer is nothing. Nothing would stop you from doing it again. If we sped as adults and never got tickets, there would be nothing to stop us from speeding other than potentially getting into accidents. The accidents they don't stop people from speeding. Jail, knowing that jail is around the corner doesn't stop people from committing crimes. People gonna commit crimes. Sometimes it's by necessity. Sometimes it's because the initial punishment wasn't bad enough. And so I'm gonna do it again. Like I'm gonna do it again. And I think that's the tough part for us, is because discipline in general, when you're disciplining someone else's kids, of course it's gonna be different. Even when you don't have the system telling you what you can't do, it's still different. And then of course trying to discipline someone after an age of understanding. And what up, bro? Hope you're doing well, bro. After an age of understanding, that is tough, because what they understood as far as discipline in the past is going to be way different than what they're having to deal with in your home. And this weekend, I had a conversation All for you always was good. I had a conversation with the kid, and I sat down and I laid it out. I laid it out like, listen, bro, you got to make better decisions. You have to make better decisions, because if you're not making good decisions now, you're going to grow up to be a teenager that does not make good decisions. You're going to grow up to be a young man that will not make good decisions. And then you're going to grow up to be an old man that do not make good decisions. And so, if you're trying to get your privileges back, it starts with your decisions. One decision at a time. You make a lot of decisions throughout the day that you don't even think about. But the ones that you need to think about, you got to get those right. You got to get those right. All right, man, come on. Give me a hug. Bring it in. At that point, I messed up. And you ask yourself, Jason, how did you mess up? How did you mess up with that conversation? Because that conversation in his mind meant that everything was clear. The slate was clean. We're good. We're back to square one. Not that, oh, he didn't just get in trouble, which is why I was having to talk to him in the first place. Not that he had got in trouble earlier in the week, which is kind of piled onto his sentence. But he thought that us having that conversation, and it wasn't even a conversation, it was more of me talking to him, that everything was going to be fine from that point forward. That conversation wiped his books clean. And now he was reinstated, full privileges. You like, Mr. Jason, can I watch what you're watching? What? Did I miss something? What did I miss? I told you needed to make better decisions. My wife told you got to get at least through. Let's start with getting through a week without us getting a message from your school. How do we just go from that to the slate is clean? That's not how this works. And I messed up. Because the discipline that he was used to was, oh, you can't do that. It's okay. I love you, give me a hug. And everything was okay. It didn't matter what happened. I'm not going to say the last part. But those that know me know what the last part is. And at that point, all was fine. All is fine. You know, appreciate the badge, Pops. Let me hit that air horn. That's what's up. Thank you, sir. Look at that, man. Here we go. Yep. All was fine at that point for him. And Miss Humbleness was good. All was fine, and it couldn't be that. Like, I didn't understand that. But for him, I had wiped his slate clean. And I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and transition to another thing that did not make sense. For everybody who watched the Super Bowl, in the halftime show, you saw the Rihanna performance, and there were mixed reviews, but the one thing it was two things. Rihanna got hips. She didn't even hit all of them. She got hips. The second thing was A$AP Rocky been out here doing work. All right? But one thing that I saw was Rihanna had 103 FCC complaints for her Super Bowl halftime performance. And when I read the headline, I was like, why? What did she do? I watched it. What did she do? Let me look at this. I'm scrolling, and they said her halftime performance was too sexualized. Gail, what's good? They said her halftime performance was too sexualized. 103 FCC complaints. Now listen, I don't know what you got to do in order to get an FCC complaint, but she couldn't dance that much. She did a real poor Tootsie Roll. Like, let's be honest here. It was too sexualized. Are we serious? Are we serious right now? It was the Tootsie Roll. The Tootsie Roll is what got the FCC complaints. Was it the Beyonce fan base? Well, it had to be the Beyonce fan base. The Beehive was out here representing. Come on, man. Let's not do this. Let's not. Too sexualized. Listen. If that was sexualized, my t-shirt is out here ruining this whole website. That thinging. Courtesy of the 710 print shop. You have got to be kidding me. It's not like everything right now is overly sexualized. Yeah, like everything. It's sex everywhere. It sells. But it also corrupts. It sells, but it also corrupts. Oh my gosh. Listen, back in the day, to see any amount of sex, and I'm talking about physical contact between two people. Heathcliff Huxtable and Claire Huxtable, they kissed, and it was, and that was it. It wasn't no laying on the couch like Martin and Gina laid on the couch. Martin and Gina laid on the couch. Martin and Gina had an episode in which they were trying to refrain from having sex. You remember that episode? Come on, listen. Now, and the only real stuff that you used to see was on, you had to stay up late and watch Cinemax, Showtime, or something like that, so you can get some of that soft in. You wasn't getting nearly as much. Like, you can get what you got on Cinemax on Fox now. You almost could see a booty on Fox. I mean, it's probably gonna be a dude booty, but it's gonna be on there. Shoot, every episode of Power at one point, you were seeing somebody's raw booty. It was back to back. It was almost like, hey, if you was gonna be on there, you was showing a breast or some ass. Come on now. Everything's sexualized. It's the reason what I woo. It's the reason why they don't put it. Listen, how many commercials do you see where you see somebody that you be like, oh, that person is ugly? And even if you don't talk like that, you don't see very many commercials where you be like, oh my gosh, that person is ugly. They are trying to appeal to your eyes. Stop playing with me. Like all of this stuff. They trying to appeal to your eyes. They don't care if you actually buy something. When the last time you saw an ugly person in a McDonald's commercial? Come on, man. Y'all better stop playing. But for Rihanna to get 103 FCC complaints, and he's talking about her being Rocket was good. Her performance being too sexualized. Stop playing. Let's stop playing. You don't even see ugly people in car commercials. What up, Lo? You don't see it. It doesn't take place. They in there. What you see, whatever you choose to see, is what it's gonna be. You can look at some clouds and be like, yo, that's like an ass right there. If you horny in that way, whatever you see, whatever's on your mind, whatever's in your spirit is what you gonna see. If you horny, that's what you seeing. That cloud fine in the mud right there, boy. I'm trying to tell you, it's thick. I don't know how to complain to the FCC, but you know what? Some people do. What up, Ma? Who figured out how to complain to the FCC? It's probably the same people who call in when they see somebody cheating in golf. There was somebody that called in to the master, was like, "Hey, buddy, move this ball." Who got that phone number? Who has the phone number to the masters? You see, you sitting at home on TV hating, like, "Oh hell no, this fam move the ball a little bit." What you doing? And why you doing it? I have no idea. But what I do know as an old married guy now, because that's exactly what I am. You see all these beard, you see all those grays in the beard. Got these 3 kids up here that's wearing me out and making me old. You got my wife out here. She trying her best. I wouldn't even want to talk about this, but help me understand this. I got a couple ladies in here right now. I didn't get the answer that I was looking for when I posted it on Facebook this couple days ago. But we were having a conversation. We were having a conversation in the kitchen. It was on Sunday. I had gospel music playing. It was kind of loud. My wife started up a conversation. When she started up the conversation, I didn't want her to have to talk over the music, so I paused. She says, "Never mind. I ain't gotta talk about it." I was like, "Baby, you are clearly trying to get my input on this subject matter." I paused the music so that I could listen to you and give you some feedback. But now you don't want to talk about it no more. Like, this is not the first time that you've done this. When I'm watching the game, and you come in here and I turn the volume down and I'll pause it, you don't want to talk to me anymore. And I don't want you to have to compete for my attention with something else that's making noise. I know my attention ain't worth a damn. And so, I mean, I'm just trying to do the right thing. And at that point, he no longer wants to have this conversation. Now, all her friends came to her defense, was like, "Naya does no wrong." And I'm not saying she was doing no wrong in this scenario. What I am saying is, I just don't understand that when I pause it, you don't want to tell me what you want to tell me anymore. And so, I just had to get that off my chest. It was funny to me. It was funny to me when she said "never mind," because I was like, come on, man, you got to tell me now. I already look. I paused Jesus. I paused Jesus. I was listening to Ricky Dillon because of the blood. I paused Jesus for a second to understand what you was trying to tell me. Alton Walker would say, "God ain't pleased." Shout out to Alton Walker. But you know what? Mom said the pause is too dramatic. I understand. I get it. It's like, hold on, no, just turn it down. Even if I turned it down a little bit, she was like, "Oh, I'm disturbing you." Ain't no right answer for that. Ain't no right answer for that. You say you disturbing her, and yeah, you disturbing me a little bit. You already know what's gonna happen. I tell you what's not gonna happen if you say she disturbing you. None of that. That ain't happening. You ain't getting none of that. You can just chill on that. But speaking of that, I did a show a couple weeks ago, and I was talking about headlines, and one of the headlines, it was like the Dana White incident. There was a headline that I read, and it was about ex-NBA player Bryn Forbes. He used to play basketball at Michigan State, and the headline read, Bryn Forbes allegedly gave his ex-porn star girlfriend, Elsa Jean, 2 black eyes, per the Daily Mail. Her entire body is bruised up, and she has 2 black eyes. The 29-year-old father of 2 allegedly felt threatened by Jean's success after her OnlyFans account took off. Gosh. Man, there's so much to unpack with that. Listen. So the first thing when I read this out loud, I was like, did they have to mention that she was a porn star or an ex-porn star? But since they did, it doesn't matter how long ago that was. Listen, when you enter into a relationship with someone who has had that type of profession, and this is with her, like, even if she doesn't do it anymore, I don't know if everything has been scrubbed at that point. But what I do know is if you started dating her when she was a porn star, part of the problem would be, hey, you could never come home after a good day at work. Like, you can never come home and talk about you had a great day at work. That would be all bad. I don't want to hear that. Nobody would want to hear that. I don't understand how you threatened by OnlyFans. I've never been on OnlyFans, so I have no idea what it all entails. But what I do know is that people be, and when I say people, it's ladies, they be out here making a lot of damn money off of OnlyFans. It's a bunch of horny dudes out there that's willing to pay to see people do whatever they do on OnlyFans. I don't know what Elsa Jean does on OnlyFans. I would imagine it's something that might involve her with no clothes on. And if that's the case, bro, you know what it is. You know what it is. What you say? As long as you know that she'll always be right, chill. Threatening my OnlyFans success, bro. You was in the league. I think that's one of the things that I don't understand is, like, some of these people that's professional athletes or something like that, especially the guys. Like, when you make bad decisions involving women as a professional athlete, as someone that has a high level of means, I don't understand that, because you should have a different pick of the crop. Not that one group of women in a different tier would make them any less crazy. Like, I feel like that just goes up the range. It depends on what you bring out of them and what they come into the relationship with. Some of them have levels of trauma that it manifests itself in different ways. But come on, man, you can't. There's no excuse. There's no excuse for one black eye. There's definitely no excuse for 2 or bruises all over the body, allegedly. Dude, like, you gotta know going in. Like, and so I've talked about this before. I've looked at it and I was like, listen, professions that I could not marry or date or marry. If I'm having to my wife, I couldn't see myself being with a porn star. Not even an ex one. You can't reminisce about the days that you had at work. We're not gonna talk about some of your old jobs. I don't even want to accidentally put it in a tape and be like, oh, and you out there. No, it's a hard pass for me. Even if you was a current, and you can tell me like all it is just acting. You can't have no good days at work. How was your day? Bad. Horrible. Oh, come in, let me make you feel better. Job number 2. I could not date a flight attendant. Yeah, you have freedom because they always gone, but I heard that flight attendants be cheating all the time. So we're gonna pass on that. Hate to hit them with the stereotype or that harsh generalization. But just kind of what I heard. It's kind of what y'all gotta deal with. 3. I could not date a mortician. I don't know. Just some kind of weird about it. You just hanging out with dead people all day. With dead bodies. You can't bring that home. Like I don't know how that works, but I don't want no dead spirit to imprint itself on you while you out there working. You accidentally drop a body and now the spirit is on you. Hey. I don't know, it's just something weird. Like have you met a cool mortician? Have you met somebody like a mortician that you like, yo, I want to go hang out with that person? They don't. Like they all seem like they're like, hello, I really mourn your family right now, and I just want to give my deepest condolences to you and the family. What we did today is we went and I think we did a good job on your loved one. Just come on over here and take a look. Like, and you don't want to hang with that person because if you talk like this all the time, man, if you're ordering food, it's gonna be weird. I like a double cheeseburger, please. And if you cannot make sure that the burger is extra well done. We want to make sure that it's dead. Come on, man. Like, let's not. I cannot see myself dating a policewoman. Not that anything is wrong with them in particular. Like, there's nothing wrong with them in particular. But what up, Sean? What up, brother? If a policewoman have a bad day at work, if they had a crime that happened and somebody beat them up, do you know, like, all hell will break loose? Like, hey, baby, we going back out there. Let's get back into your car. We about to go on patrol. So, yeah, just to recap, I got one more. Porn star can never have a good day at work, so that would never work. A flight attendant, always be cheating. Not gonna do it. A mortician, they all of them weird in some way, shape, or form. A police officer, they can never have a bad day. These are all women that I couldn't date if this was what their profession was. And the last one is a proctologist. If I met a woman, she could be bad. She could look like Carrie Hilson, but if she was a proctologist, I would look at her crazy because she look at booties all day. Not a good look. She could be paid. I'm like, get somebody else to do it. You listen. You've been around booties all day. And when they come see you, it ain't because they booty is okay. I'm just saying. This is not what it is. I can't do it. And maybe that's a double standard. But oh well. Hey, speaking of booties and ladies on booties, I don't know if y'all saw this, but Busta Rhymes he was leaving somewhere or going somewhere. But some lady grabbed his booty and he threw a drink at her. Hey, listen, I cannot confirm or deny that I agree with throwing a drink at a lady. But what I will say is, ladies, public service announcement. 97% of straight dudes do not like getting their booties grabbed. It's a fact. It's in the handbook. 90% of dudes, 97% of dudes do not like getting their booties grabbed. I don't know why y'all like to do it. Y'all like to do it and know that dudes don't like that. Why? It's just me. I don't give a damn if it was my mama. Get your hand. I don't like it. Don't nobody. She thought it was funny at first until that drink came flying. Like, dudes don't play that. Dudes do not play that. And there was a lot of people in the chat and in the little comments that was kind of defending the girl and saying that Busta Rhymes overreacted. But they said that knowing that if they were out somewhere and some random ass dude grabbed their butts, that it would be a problem. It would be a problem. It's always been a problem. We can't just go around grabbing booties. And so for her to think that it was okay, she only thought it was okay because she was a woman. And she did not expect him to act like that or react like that. I'm not in a position to say that he was wrong for his reaction. He didn't hit her. I don't know how many dudes just be out here throwing drinks, but he didn't hit her. But you can't jump online and go play the victim as if you didn't just grab that ass. Like, it happened. You can't say, oh, I was just trying to get his attention with a no. Dudes don't play like that. And if you a dude that don't play like that, you 100% understand where I'm coming from. It's like a no-fly zone. It's a no-fly zone. Like, this ain't it. Busta would have been canceled if it was videos of him just grabbing people's butts, grabbing some girl butts. Especially if she felt the need to throw a drink on him behind it. Come on, man. That's a no-go. We're not even getting ready to start trying to normalize this. We can't do it. She thought it was funny at first, and then it wasn't funny when the liquor was in the air, or whenever that drink was in the air. It was no longer funny. Dumb ways to die. Can't do that. We're not even getting ready to try to consider normalizing that. Just in the same way that we're not going to normalize dudes assaulting women in that way. We have taken some great steps towards making sure that does not take place as openly as it once did back in the day. We just can't. We're not having that. We can't have that. That's a no-go. Ladies, please stop doing that. Don't think that that's cool. Not everybody gonna have a drink in their hand. Not everybody gonna be as sensible. Not everybody gonna be as, cool. They're not gonna be cool with it. Like, it's just not cool. I would have been pissed off. What the hell are you doing? What you doing? way to get cussed at. It's a good way to get cussed at. And before I get out of here, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to talk about this. And I'm just start talking, and none of it's meant to be offensive. And usually when somebody says something like that, like, hey, I'm not trying to be racist, they about to say some real racist stuff. None of it is meant to be offensive to any group. I am thinking out loud, and how it comes out is kind of how it comes out. I will do my best, but recently there is this notion of, and I've seen more and more of it, of people feeling like there has been an attack on Black masculinity. And there are parts of it that I understand, there are parts of it that I do not understand, but what I will say is there are a lot of things that as a Black man, as someone who considers himself a strong Black man, as someone who considers himself in tune with my sexuality and very secure in it, there are still just some things that I would not do. And it's just from the standpoint of, hey, it's not my thing. I don't care if you do it, and I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in if you decide to do it. Whether it's how you dress, or what you say, or a pose that you do, or a picture that you take. There was a big hoopla about, oh gosh, that the actor Jonathan Majors, he took a picture on Ebony and with the Don Flamingo anime character. He was dressed, and fam, I brought it to my wife. I was like, baby, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. And I was like, if it was Halloween, or if I was at a Comic-Con type situation, and I was posing to take a picture, and I had my pink joint on with no shirt on, and my pants and my boots, and I was just posing. I'm trying to be imposing. I don't know what Don Flamingo do. I don't watch anime like that. But there's a lot of hoopla about that picture. Fam was in there like, I forgot how he's posing. He had legs all crossed, and he was making duck lips. And I was just like, yo, okay, you tell me it's the anime character. All right, I rock with it. I know they take a whole bunch of pictures, and you might not get final say over what pictures they use. And most of the time when you're taking pictures and they're telling you to do stuff, and they're like, hey, tilt your head down a little bit, tilt it up, to the left, to the right, up, down, left, right, whatever. All right, give me some lip action. More. Not that much. Bring it down. Eyebrows up. And so if they doing all of this and they're constantly taking pictures, yeah, they might catch you looking a certain kind of way. In some of the comments, they was like, yo, bro, looking real zesty. And whether he is or isn't, and however it is that they defend the pictures or talk about what the thought process was behind the pictures. All right, cool, man, you doing your thing. And then we fast forward, and there were some more pictures that came out. I guess they Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors took some pictures for a photo shoot. I know they just did the movie Creed 3. I'm excited about going to see it. I would like to see it. And it was a real loving picture. It was a loving picture where they were, he was hugging them from behind, and he kind of had his arm across his chest, and one of them, he had his hand on his head, and one picture, their heads were leaned up against each other. And I get it. I have a brother. I have guys that I've known for 20 plus years now. A bunch of them. I don't know if we would ever take pictures like that, but that's, like I said, it's not for me to judge. It's not for me to judge. It's just not what we would do. And I don't think it's for, like, we've told each other, hey, my brother, I love my guys. These are my guys. This is my extended family. I love those guys. We've all taken pictures together. But there's an etiquette. There's a code. There's certain stuff we're not gonna do. And should we be judged or looked down upon because we do or don't do? I don't think that that's fair. But we allow. Look, I see two dudes taking a picture. They taking a picture how they choose to take a picture. Most of the time it's, and we keep it moving. But never, I'm not the type. Never have been the type to be like, hit the dislike button. I don't even, even if it's something that I see that my friends post, I don't take the time to put negative comments on people's stuff. I'm just not, I don't have the time for that. I don't have the mind, even if I might think something, that energy I do not put out there. And so when it comes to their pictures or anything like that, hey, this is how they chose to express themselves in these pictures. And that's fine. Please, let that just be fine. Yes, I'm talking about it because it's been a topic. One of the things that I was thinking about as I was going through this was, we talk about the attack on masculinity, and in particular, Black masculinity, because I'm not that into the Caucasian side of the culture, where if there's anything that they feel attacked with or by or from. And so when I look at, like, when they talk about how fashion has changed, I look back at I got albums sitting over here in the corner right here, and some of them outfits that the Isley brothers wore, them little leotards and joint, them shits was zesty as hell. I would never wear those. Them shits was tight, and they was rocking tight onesies with glitter on it back in the day. And they had the honeys going crazy. That's what was in. That's what was in back then. I would never wear that, but y'all doing y'all thing. Y'all representing. Then the clothes got big. In the 90s, clothes was big as hell. Everybody wore big clothes. Everybody was sagging. I never really got into the sagging thing. Like I never really sagged like that. Like I wore big clothes. I wore big shorts because I was a fan of the Fab Five back in the day. They wore big shorts. I like big shorts. I had black socks. But until I realized, hey, like sagging means something. Sagging means something depending on where you at. If you're out here showing your butt. If you in jail and you sagging, you know what that means. If you in prison and you sagging, the booty warrior is looking for you. The booty warrior got this going. That's what he's looking for when lights go out. But then the clothes stopped getting so big. And then they got tight. It went from big to preppy to tight. Lil Wayne had clothes so tight that he couldn't even pull them up over his thighs. It was horrible. How can you skateboard in those? And then it went from tights and skinny jeans to what we have now, where you see dudes wearing skirts and halter tops and fur, like weird fur tops and big ass red boots, and it's different walking around with Merces. It's different. There's certain things that it's different for me. I don't listen. Who's to say? Well, I will say this: if I had a bunch of money, if I had millions and millions of dollars, I would not be out here rocking no big ass red boots. It's not my style. But if it's your style and you like to try new stuff, if you're on the Westbrook side of the game, Westbrook will wear some stuff. LeBron put on a suit that had shorts on the bottom. The shorts are little as shit, man. Magic Johnson shorts. Hey, that was his thing. Nobody like, yo, LeBron gay. That was just that's a style choice that I just couldn't get with. It's a style choice that you just can't get with. And so I asked myself, is it an attack? Or just a noticeable change in fashion? And that's influenced by a lot of the stuff that gets put on TV, whether it's Empire that's pushing, like they open the door and Jesse's character was representing. It was on every week, and it's in our face now. It ain't like, Lil Murder and what's my man name from Uncle Cliff? They out there representing in a different kind of way. It's different. We just didn't see that back in the day. I feel like all of that has a level of influence on how people perceive what is happening with our culture. And You have it so that the guys who there's a group of guys who really don't rock with it in that way, but they almost have to go all the way to the other end of the spectrum so that it doesn't come off like there's any kind of confusion about where they stand as far as their sexuality. And that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case. I ain't gonna say that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case. If you're secure in your manhood, then you will be able to be around them and not be in question, and then you can go back to doing your thing. I spent time. I went and hung out with my god brother one day, and his whole crew. It's a big part of his crew. They live that lifestyle and LGBTQ lifestyle. We went and hung out, and we were at Boogaloo, and I walked in there and I ain't seen some of these guys in pictures. When you see them in pictures and you see them in real life, it's different. They were posing. They had their poses and stuff like that. You're like, all right, well, hey, I'm Jason. This is my god brother. Da. And next thing you know, like, they out here calling each other bitches and stuff, and I'm like, oh, all right, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. That's y'all thing. I'm gonna let y'all rock with that. Which one of y'all? Which one of us you think is a bigger bitch? You know what? I ain't got no answer. I ain't got no answer for that. You know what, man? So it was one of those things where I wasn't going to be weird. It was just certain things that I could not take part in because I was not going to be offensive in that way. Like, I did not have an answer for those questions. I could not take part in calling them bitches, or I'm not a naturally loud person. I can be talkative and I have my loud moments, but they were lit. I'm sure that they are a good time when they hang out. Just certain parts of their hangout I can't get with. They're still cool people. Y'all do y'all thing, man. As long as my god brother's straight, man, we good. And now when I say straight, not sexual, it's just as long as he okay. Like, y'all not treating him bad. I won't have no problem with y'all as long as y'all not treating him bad. Y'all treating him bad, I got a problem with y'all. Outside of that, hey, man, y'all let these folks live. Everybody that's secure, with their manhood and their sexuality will not feel attacked. They have it on TV, and it don't change anything that I'm doing personally. I still operate the same. Hollis Jerry, what's good? It still operates the same. It doesn't change anything as far as how I operate. I got family members in that lifestyle. I still treat them the same. I treat their mates the same. They all cousins. Hey, whatever. I don't treat them no way. Y'all not trying to push it on me? We good. We good. I be having questions. I have questions sometimes, but some I have questions just because I'm stupid sometimes, but they know it. They know it's coming from a good place. It's never coming from a place of hate or anything like that. And I feel like the more that people just, if you love yourself, then it's gonna be easy to love other people. And if you hate yourself, then you're gonna see all the other stuff that hating yourself brings to light. And so with that being said, good people, y'all have a great week, yo. Y'all have a great week. Remember, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe on iHeartRadio, Spotify. Tell Alexa to play the Strategically Reckless podcast. And if you're looking for a dope shirt that'll make people smile, that thing, you can get that from www.the710printshop.com. That's www.the710printshop.com. And if you enter in promo code TEAM710, that's TEAM710, and get your discount on that. I got some other dope stuff on there. Also, I'm getting ready to put the Shogun Strike Academy bowling shirt up. We got 4 different colors in that. I also got the look around and find out hoodie up there. I also have the hoodie from the Netflix movie You People. That hoodie that Eddie Murphy had on, that Fred Hampton was murdered, got that on the site. It's a lower price than there, but Yoli was good. It's a lower price than you can find anywhere else, and it's great quality. So look, until next time, good people, y'all be safe out in these streets. I am out.